thanks for watching this little video of mine. Just thought I'd take the opportunity. Today's lawn mowing day, and I've got this Morrison Olympic roller mower. So this is a project that I've had for about 6 months now. Got it donated to me from a guy at work, good mate. So it was in much worse condition than this when it first arrived. Initially I thought he was just bringing me a roller push mower, one that you just self-propelled push around, self-propelled, human-propelled push around mower. But yeah, he turned up with this in the boot of his car. So when it came to me, it was missing a few pieces. The handlebars were broken through here. It had no clutch lever, no clutch cable to disengage the drive. The side cover and pull start were missing, the engine shroud, and it had no spark plug in it. It had been sitting outside under a tree for a couple of years. The cylinder was full of water. Initially he told me that it was seized, he couldn't get it to turn over. When we lifted it out of the car and put it into the boot of my car for me to bring home, I gave it a little twist and actually got it free. So just a little bit of vibration maybe and driving freed it up. Amazingly, when I pulled the oil plug, there was no milkiness, so none of that water had got through past the rings. So when I took the head off, just got a good clean out. When I spun it over, got spark straight away on the spark plug. So it was a borrowed spark plug from another machine, so I shot down the shop, grabbed a new spark plug for it. Had a donor motor given to me from Uncle Clive in Gisborne that had the pull start, the engine shroud and the pull start, so that was a great donor that I got those onto here. Not much else that we got. Yeah, Scotty welded the handlebars. He also cut the other side open and put a strengthening bar on the inside of that. Ordered a new clutch cable and clutch handle from eBay and basically got it running. So I wasn't initially sure what I was going to do with this, whether I was going to keep it, and I've sort of come to that conclusion that I think it is going to live here now. I don't have a perfectly flat lawn to mow with it, but I do have some parts, and my neighbour really loves it because the berm outside his house is nice and flat. So yeah, real mower. I think this is 500, an Olympic 500, just based on the width. They come in 4, 5 and 600s, and this has got a 500 blade in it, which I assume means it's an Olympic 500. Yeah, so I'll start it up. Can't think of much else that I actually had to do to get this thing running. Cleaned the carburetor out, just loosened up the little reeds inside the fuel pump part of it there. It is a little bit hard starting. Sometimes I have to take the air filter off and just give it a little trickle of petrol straight through the carb, and once it's picked up from the tank it seems to run really well on its own. So yeah, we'll start it up. I'll move the camera around and show you what it does when I mow. Okay, so here we go with an attempt at starting this thing. First thing I've got to do is make sure that I have the clutch disengaged and latched so that it can free run. Otherwise, as soon as the engine starts and I bring the revs up, the centrifugal clutch might kick in and it'll drive by itself. So that's just an extra little safety. Topped up the tank with gas. Has an automatic choke attached on the throttle that pulls the choke back on the carburetor, and when you drop it back down to an idle position, it closes itself. So I'll give it a few pulls, see if it starts. If it doesn't, I've already loosened the air cleaner and got my little container of petrol there. But generally, if it doesn't start after a few pulls, all I do is put a few dribbles in there, and away she'll go. So got it on full choke there, and we'll just give it a few pulls and see what happens. So yeah, it's not gonna start. I could probably keep doing that and it'll build up a vacuum through the carb, through the reeds, to draw the fuel up itself, but I'll just take the easy option. Generally doesn't take much. It should fire up in a few pulls. So now that it's had that first little run, it's warm-ish. It should restart pretty much straight away. You call me a liar, but I'll try it. Usually does. Here we go. So yeah, I'll move this other car out of the road and take this up on the grass and start her up again and give it a little push around, and you can see it cutting. What's cool about this one is the reel, the blade in here isn't a single continuous spiral all the way across the blade. It's two separate spirals that work their way to the centre, and what I've read about this is that it throws the grass inward to the centre of the catcher, making it a bit more efficient and a bit more effective than the single spiral that tends to fill either one side of the catcher or start throwing grass out one side or the other, depending on which way it's going. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Right, we'll just yeah, get on with this, and you'll see it in action in a couple of seconds. Okay, so as you can see, this little part of our property at the front here is a bit of a hill, got some rolling stuff to it. Forgot to mention I have already mowed the lawn once this morning with just a standard rotary, blade mower. What's not good for this is the sticks. Yeah, going over a stone or anything like that in the lawn doesn't seem to be a problem because it rolls it flat, but sticks can flick up and jam in the blades and stuff, so got rid of all of that. All the leaves and stuff, it doesn't really pick them up, and even long stalky grass, it tends to just fold that over flat rather than cutting it. So take all the long stuff down, and yeah, I'll just zip across this again now and roll it flat, and it'll take a little bit more out of the top of this. Okay, so there we have it, just a short video about this mower. Catches, catching grass, doing what it's supposed to, cutting really well. Didn't mention I haven't had these blades sharpened. I've basically let them self-clearance. Everything's still ran and there's just surface rust, so it's a pretty big job and a pretty important job getting these blades sharpened up properly and dead straight. So I've let them just run around and knock that surface rust off, and it seems to be cutting fine, so there's still plenty of goodness left in them before I have to do that job. As you saw, pushing it up and down that hill, she's quite manoeuvrable, quite capable of climbing. Not much more to tell you. It has got a split roller. It's got a split roller in the back. There's pretty much an internal differential inside the roller. It's cut down the middle, which is what makes it easy to push around in circles without having to completely stop and lug it or drag it around on the grass, so you don't get big drag marks and circles in the grass from pushing around in circles. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, have a look at the other stuff I've got on the channel. Grandad Mac, the Barford Atom, is just about finished, so that should be the next video I upload, hopefully. Cheers.